Have you ever wondered why so many seniors wake up stiff, achy, or just plain worn out? What if I told you that nearly 60% of chronic diseases in older adults are linked to low-grade inflammation, something that can sneak up on you from everyday foods? It's true. Inflammation plays a hidden role in heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, and more. But here's the kicker. By avoiding just 10 common foods and mistakes, you can dial down inflammation and feel decades younger. Today, I'm going to reveal those 10 inflammation-fueling culprits and mistakes you need to stop right now. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from. I'd love to say hello and see our community growing. Number 1, processed meats. Imagine you're sitting down to a nice breakfast of bacon and sausage. Tasty, right? But here's the thing. Processed meats like bacon, sausages, delices, and hot dogs can trigger inflammation in your body. When meats are processed, they often get nitrates and nitrites to preserve flavor and color. These additives can turn into compounds called nitrosamines, which irritate the gut lining. Over time, your immune system sees this irritation like an unwanted guest and sends in helpers, white blood cells, and chemical signals to clean up the mess. That cleanup crew releases substances like cytokines, which in small bursts help fight germs. But if those substances stick around too long, they become chronic low-grade inflammation. Chronic inflammation can lead to aches in your joints, feelings of fatigue, and over the long haul, increase your risk of things like heart disease or insulin resistance. Another reason processed meats stoke inflammation is their high level of saturated fats. Your body needs fat, but too much saturated fat can clog tiny vessels and make your cells less responsive to insulin, elevating blood sugar. The result, more inflammatory signals, plus many processed meats are high in sodium. When your salt intake is excessive, your cells can hold on to water, raising blood pressure and irritating blood vessel linings, another inflammatory trigger. So what can you do? Swap processed meats for leaner, fresher options. Think grilled chicken breast, baked fish or beans, seasoned with herbs. If you miss that smoky flavor, try a small slice of nitrate-free turkey bacon sparingly. Even switching to minimally processed meats reduces exposure to those nitrates and nitrites. Over time, your body will thank you with less joint stiffness and better overall health. Remember, every time you choose fresh over processed, you're choosing to calm inflammation and feel more vibrant. Number 2, refined grains and white flour products. You might love a fluffy white roll or a big bowl of white pasta. It's comforting, easy to prepare, and feels satisfying. But here's the catch. White flour and refined grains like white bread, white rice, bagels, and standard pastry are stripped of fiber, vitamins, and minerals during processing. Without fiber, these foods get digested quickly, causing your blood sugar to spike. Your pancreas then pumps out insulin to usher that sugar into your cells. Rapid spikes and crashes in blood sugar become a cycle, and sustained higher insulin levels can encourage the release of inflammatory molecules. On a molecular level, when blood sugar skyrockets, it can lead to the formation of advanced glycation end products, AGEs. AGEs are harmful compounds that form when proteins or fats combine with sugar in the bloodstream. Over time, AGEs accumulate and can damage tissues, prompting your immune system react. That ongoing reaction is what we call inflammation. Also, when you rely heavily on refined carbs, you might unintentionally fewer anti-inflammatory foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. This imbalance tips the scale toward inflammation. What's a simple switch? Reach for whole grain bread or brown rice. Yes, these options look denser, but they're packed with fiber, which slows digestion, and keeps blood sugar levels more stable. That stability means fewer inflammatory triggers. If you miss the softness of white bread, try sprouted grain wraps or bread. They often have a lighter texture, but still offer fiber. Over time, your taste buds adjust and you'll likely find the whole grain versions quite satisfying. By choosing whole over refined, you'll help maintain steady blood sugar and keep inflammation under control. Number 3, sugary drinks and excessive sugar intake. Picture a hot afternoon when a cold soda or sweet iced tea sounds irresistible. We all crave sweetness, but sugary drinks are among the fastest ways to raise inflammation. When you drink a can of soda, you're gulping down about 150 calories of almost pure sugar, usually high fructose corn syrup or sucrose. Your body can't handle that sugar surge gracefully. Blood sugar spikes quickly, and your pancreas secretes a surge of that process. Kicks off the release of inflammatory cytokines like TNF-alpha and interleukin-6. Over time, chronically high cytokine levels contribute to that simmering, low-grade inflammation we're trying to avoid. But it's not just drinks. Think sweets, candies, pastries, cookies, and cakes. All of these deliver rapid sugar hits beyond spikes in blood sugar. Sugar can also feed harmful bacteria and yeast in your gut. A healthy gut microbiome is crucial for keeping your immune system balanced and preventing inflammation. But when bad bacteria overgrow, thanks to too much sugar, they release toxins called lipopolysaccharides, LPS. LPS in the bloodstream triggers immune cells and boom, inflammation flares. Here's a practical tip. Swap sugary sodas for sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon or lime. Your pancreas then pumps out insulin to usher that sugar into your cells. Rapid spikes and crashes in blood sugar become a cycle and sustained higher. Insulin levels can encourage the release of inflammatory molecules. On a molecular level, when blood sugar skyrockets, it can lead to the formation of advanced glycation end products, AGEs. AGEs are harmful compounds that form when proteins or fats combine with sugar in the bloodstream. Over time, AGEs accumulate and can damage tissues, prompting your immune system to react. That ongoing reaction is what we call inflammation. Also, when you rely heavily on refined carbs, you might unintentionally fewer anti-inflammatory foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. This imbalance tips the scale toward inflammation. Now, what's a simple switch? Reach for whole grain bread or brown rice. Yes, these options look denser, but they're packed with fiber, which slows digestion and keeps blood sugar levels more stable. That stability means fewer inflammatory triggers. If you miss the softness of white bread, try sprouted grain wraps or bread. They often have a lighter texture, but still offer fiber. Over time, your taste buds adjust, and you'll likely find the whole grain versions quite satisfying. By choosing whole over refined, you'll help maintain steady blood sugar and keep inflammation under control. Number 3, sugary drinks and excessive sugar intake. Picture a hot afternoon when a cold soda or sweet iced tea sounds irresistible. We all crave sweetness, but sugary drinks are among the fastest ways to raise inflammation. When you drink a can of soda, you're gulping down about 150 calories of almost pure sugar, usually high fructose corn syrup or sucrose. Your body can't handle that sugar surge gracefully. Blood sugar spikes quickly, and your pancreas secretes a surge of that process. Kicks off the release of inflammatory cytokines like TNF-alpha and interleukin-6. Over time, chronically high cytokine levels contribute to that simmering, low-grade inflammation we're trying to avoid. But it's not just drinks. Think sweets, candies, pastries, cookies, and cakes. All these deliver rapid sugar hits. Beyond spikes in blood sugar, sugar can also feed harmful bacteria and yeast in your gut. A healthy gut microbiome is crucial for keeping your immune system balanced and preventing inflammation. But when bad bacteria overgrow, thanks to too much sugar, they release toxins called lipopolysaccharides, LPS. Low PS in the bloodstream triggers immune cells and boom, inflammation flares. Here's a practical tip. Swap sugary sodas for sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon or lime. If you crave something sweet, steep herbal tea and add a slice of fresh fruit instead of sugar. Even diluted fruit juice, half water, can satisfy a sweet tooth without overwhelming your system. And when cravings hit, reach for whole fruits like berries or apples. The fiber in fruit, slow sugar absorption. So you blood sugar, nourish beneficial gut bacteria, and keep inflammation in check, helping you feel more energetic and less achy. Number 4, trans fats and hydrogenated oils. Trans fats often hide in your favorite comfort foods like margarine, the store-bought pastries, crackers, and fried fast food items. They're crafted by chemically adding hydrogen to vegetable oils, making them semi-solid at room temperature. For food manufacturers, trans fats are cheap and give products a longer shelf life. Unfortunately, they're terrible for your arteries and your inflammation levels. When you consume trans fats, they raise your bad LDL cholesterol and lower your good HDL cholesterol. And on top of that, cells lining your blood vessels sense the unhealthy environment created by trans fats and respond by sending out inflammatory signals. These signals attract immune cells called macrophages. And when macrophages go up, excessive oxidized lipids, they become foam cells, early warning signs of plaque buildup in arteries. And that whole process rampages inflammation throughout your circulatory system. Over time, this raises your risk for heart disease and stroke. Your body also uses trans fats differently at the cellular level. They can get incorporated into cell membranes, making cells less flexible and impair normal functions. When cell membranes are stiff, receptors for insulin and other hormones don't work as well, promoting insulin resistance, a hallmark of chronic inflammation. You can spot trans fats on a label by reading ingredient lists. Look for partially hydrogenated oils. Even if a product claims 0 grams trans fat, check for that term. If you're dealing with trans fats. The good news, many manufacturers are phasing them out due to regulations. So check labels carefully. It opts instead for healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or oils. They'll high in omega-3s, flaxseed or canola oil. Using these healthier oils for cooking helps keep your cells flexible, supports better cholesterol balance, and dials down inflammation. Number 5, excessive salt consumption. Salt adds flavor, but too much can inflame. When sodium levels in your bloodstream spike, your body responds by retaining water to balance things out. That extra fluid increases the volume of blood your heart has to pump, raising blood pressure. Over time, high blood pressure can irritate blood vessel walls, making them more prone to inflammatory cell infiltration. In those cells, white blood cells release chemicals like interleukins and tumor necrosis factor that keep inflammation alive. You might think table salt is the main problem, processed and packaged foods often hide a ton of sodium. Soups, frozen dinners, snack chips, and even some cereals contain more sodium than you'd expect. When you consume these frequently, your kidneys work over time to filter excess sodium. Constant strain on the kidneys can lead to small-scale damage, which your immune system perceives as an injury, prompting an inflammatory response. So how can you cut down? First, to get in the habit of reading nutrition labels. Look for products with less than 300 milligrams of sodium per serving. Your seasoning food, experiment with herbs, spices, fresh garlic, lemon juice, or vinegar to add flavor without salt. When cooking at home, measure salt carefully instead of sprinkling freely. If you eat out often, request that your dish be prepared with no added salt and ask for sauces and dressings on the side. Over time, your taste buds are and you'll notice the natural flavors of foods without that extra salt punch. By dialing down sodium, you reduce fluid retention, ease the burden on your blood vessels and kidneys, and significantly lower inflammation levels. You'll likely notice steadier energy, less bloating, and fewer hints of inflammation like puffiness or joint discomfort. Number 6, alcohol overindulgence. Enjoying a glass of wine now and then can be perfectly fine, but drinking too much alcohol regularly can fan the flames of inflammation. When you sip alcohol, your liver works hard to measure heavy drinking overloads. The liver's capacity leading to the buildup of oxaldehyde, a toxic substance that irritates liver cells. Those cells then release inflammatory signals, calling in immune cells to address the damage. Over time, this chronic liver irritation can progress to fatty liver disease and eventually to fibrosis or even cirrhosis, all in inflammatory-driven conditions. Excessive alcohol also disrupts your gut barrier. Think of your gut lining as a fortress wall that keeps harmful bacteria and toxins inside the intestines. When alcohol inflames that lining, it develops leaks, allowing bacteria and endotoxins such as lipopolysaccharides, LPS, to slip into your bloodstream. Once in circulation, LPS triggers widespread inflammation, potentially aggravating joints, arteries, and even mood regulation in the brain. That's why heavy drinkers often report not only digestive issues, but also heightened joint pain, poor sleep, and mood swings. Beyond the gut and liver, alcohol can impair sleep quality. Less restful sleep ramps up inflammatory signals as your body misses out critical repair phases that normally occur during deep sleep. You end up stuck in a vicious cycle. Alcohol disrupts sleep. Poor sleep fuels inflammation. Inflammation makes you feel worse, and you might reach for alcohol again to relax. To keep inflammation in check, aim to limit intake. Our seniors, that typically means no more than one standard drink per day, about 5 ounces of wine or 12 ounces of beer. If you find yourself drinking more, try alternating alcoholic drinks with glasses of water, or designate alcohol-free days each week. It's over time, your liver and gut lining heal, sleep patterns improve, and inflammatory markers in your body should drop, making you feel more energetic, mentally sharp, and physically comfortable. It's number 7, neglecting healthy fats in omega-3 deficiency. It's common to think all fats are bad, but your body actually needs healthy fats, especially omega-3 fatty acids, to keep inflammation under control. Omega-3s found in foods like fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, walnuts, chia, or seeds, and flax seeds produce anti-inflammatory molecules called resolvins. and protections. These molecules are like peacekeepers, signaling immune cells to stand down once they've done their job fighting germs or repairing minor tissue damage. When your diet skews too far toward omega-6 fatty acids found in many vegetable oils like corn, sunflower, and soybean oil, without balancing omega-3s, your body tends to produce more pro-inflammatory molecules called prostaglandins and leukotrienes. That doesn't mean omega-6 is villainous. Your body needs it too. But modern diets often contain a omega-6 far in excess of omega-3. So the ratio gets out of whack. An ideal balance helps keep inflammation regulated. Too much omega-6 without enough. Omega-3 fosters chronic low-grade inflammation. If you're not eating fatty fish twice a week or sprinkling flaxseed into your morning oatmeal, your omega-3 stores might be low. Over months, that efficiency shows up as stiffer joints, duller mood, and slower healing from minor injuries. To correct this imbalance, aim to add a serving of fatty fish at least twice weekly. If fish isn't your favorite, include vegetarian omega-3 sources. Ground flaxseed stirred into yogurt, chia seeds in smoothies, or a handful of walnuts as a snack. You can also consider a fish oil or algal oil supplement. Just check with your doctor first, especially if you're in blood thinners. By consciously including a omega-3 rich foods, you help your body produce those anti-inflammatory resolves and protections. Over time, you'll notice fewer morning stiffness episodes, better joint comfort, and even improvements in mood, since inflammation in the brain can influence how you feel. Making healthy fats a regular part of your day is a simple science way to keep inflammation at bay. That's number 8, skipping regular physical activity. We all have busy lives, grandkids to watch, books to read, maybe a favorite TV show calling our name. But when you skip regular movements, say not walking around the neighborhood or neglecting gentle exercises, you miss out on crucial anti-inflammatory benefits. Physical activity stimulates your muscles to produce a molecule called IL-6 into looking 6. Now, before you worry, this isn't the same IL-6 released by immune cells during infection. That muscle-derived IL-6 actually helps shift your body into an anti-inflammatory state, encouraging the release of IL-110 and IL-1 receptor antagonist, 2 powerful anti-inflammatory players. When you're too sedentary, your fat tissue has more opportunity to release pro-inflammatory cytokines like TNF, alpha, and IL-1. The cytokines circulate and keep your immune system in a state of lower alert. Over weeks and months, that persistent alertness can manifest as achy joints, extra pounds, and even insulin resistance. On top of that, inactivity reduces mitochondrial efficiency in your muscle cells. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of cells. When they don't work well, you generate more reactive oxygen species, or as OITs, which damage cells and trigger inflammation. You don't need to become a marathon runner to reap benefits. For seniors, especially low-impact activities like brisk walking, swimming, or even sitting exercises with resistance bands are excellent. Aim for at least 150 minutes per week of moderate activity, which breaks down to just 20-30 minutes per day. Even taking short strolls after meals helps blunt those blood sugar spikes that can promote inflammation. If balance or joint issues concern you, try chair yoga or water aerobics. In water, your joints feel lighter, making movement easier and reducing pain. The key is consistency. Pick something you enjoy, whether it's dancing to your favorite tunes in the living room or gardening at a gentle pace. Over a few weeks, that steady activity reduces pro-inflammatory signals, boosts anti-inflammatory mediators, and leaves you feeling more energized and like you're adding years of wellness, not days to your life. Number 9, poor sleep habits. Maybe you find yourself staying up late, watching TV, reruns, or scrolling on your phone. Poor sleep patterns, like getting fewer than 6 hours a night or experiencing frequent awakenings, can stoke inflammation. During deep sleep, your body produces growth hormone and other restorative substances that repair tissues and regulate immune function. Now, when you skip on deep sleep, those processes get shortchanged, and our body sees it as a form of stress, prompting higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, during daytime. Elevated cortisol over time messes with your immune cells, making them more likely to release pro-inflammatory cytokines. Additionally, lack of sleep disrupts your circadian rhythm, the internal clock, regulating everything from hormone secretion to cell repair. When that clock is off, immune cells become less efficient at distinguishing between normal tissue and potential threats. That confusion can lead to chronic inflammation showing up as morning stiffness, midday fatigue, or even mood disturbances like irritability or low mood. To break this cycle, set a consistent bedtime and wake up time, even on weekends. Create a wind down routine, dim the lights an hour before bed, avoid screens with blue light, and consider reading or gentle stretching instead of scrolling on your phone. If you wake up in the night, try not to check the clock. Instead, focus on relaxation techniques like deep breathing or imagining a peaceful scene. If noise bothers you, a white noise machine or a fan can help. Small environmental tweaks matter too. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. Around 65 degrees of science and state indigo is ideal. Invest in a supportive mattress and pillows that align your spine. Over time, practicing these habits helps you get more restorative deep sleep. As you catch up on those crucial deep sleep cycles, inflammatory markers in your blood, like serious active protein, begin to drop. You'll likely wake up feeling more refreshed, experience less joint stiffness, and notice better mood and energy throughout the day. Then, number 10, chronic stress and not managing it. Not life events, taking care of grandchildren, managing medications, or even worrying about world events can add up to chronic stress. When stress becomes constant, your body responds by pumping out cortisol and adrenaline regularly. In small doses, these hormones help you handle immediate challenges. But when cortisol stays elevated day after day, it suppresses your immune system's ability to regulate inflammation. Your immune cells start releasing more pro-inflammatory cytokines, setting off that low-grade persistent inflammation. Stress also affects behaviors that influence inflammation. Under stress, you might skip workouts, reach for sugary comfort foods, or have trouble sleeping, each of which fuels inflammation. Stress also disrupts your gut-brain axis, altering the balance of your gut microbiome. Unhealthy shifts in gut bacteria allow for increased gut permeability, often called leaky gut, where toxins and bacteria sneak into your bloodstream, triggering more inflammation. So how do you manage stress? Start with mindfulness practices. Deep breathing, meditation, or gentle yoga can help calm your nervous system. Even 5 minutes of focused breathing, inhale for a count of 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6, can signal to your brain that you're safe, lowering cortisol. Another strategy is to cultivate social connections, chatting with friends, joining a senior community group, or simply playing cards with a neighbor can provide emotional support, releasing oxytocin, the feel-good hormone, which counteracts these cortisol's inflammatory effects. Physical activity also doubles as stress relief. A short walk around the block or gentle stretching can break the cycle of tension. Finally, consider hobbies that bring you joy, reading, gardening, or listening. But music, because enjoyable activities lower stress hormones. If you feel overwhelmed, talking to a counselor or joining a support group can provide tools to cope. But over weeks and months, these stress management techniques reduce pro-inflammatory signals in your body. You'll notice tension melting away, less joint discomfort, and an overall sense of calm physically and mentally that keeps inflammation under control. And there, you get 10 foods and steaks that are quietly driving inflammation and what to do instead to help your body heal. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more practical tips for living your healthiest life at any age. Drop a comment sharing which swap you're most excited to try. Or tell us if you've already felt a difference when avoiding one of these foods. Also, share this video with a friend or family member. Let's help everyone age stronger and pain-free. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, stay active, stay informed, and keep living life on your own terms.